Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, Assalamu alaikum, Namaste and Sat Sri Akal. On behalf of the Consulate General of India in Birmingham, I, Kavita Mohan, extend a very warm and hearty welcome to all of you to virtually celebrate the spirit of Eid. The term Eid is Arabic and it means feast, festival, or holiday. Eid is a worldwide festival and is celebrated by Muslims all across the globe. Whereas Eid al-Fitr, also called as the festival of breaking the fast, marks the end of Ramadan, the Islamic holy month of fasting. Eid al-Adha means festival of sacrifice and is also known as the Greater Eid. It marks the end of the annual Islamic pilgrimage to Mecca in Saudi Arabia. Eid is a symbol of brotherhood, unity, compassion, peace, and happiness in the society. समुद्र को उसका किनारा मुबारक, समुद्र को उसका किनारा मुबारक, चांद को सितारा मुबारक, फूलों को उसकी खुशबू मुबारक, फूलों को उसकी खुशबू मुबारक, दिल को उसका दिलदार मुबारक, आप सभी को ईद का त्योहार मुबारक. To begin with, may I request Honorable Consul General Dr. Shashank Vikram to please address us all this occasion. Dr. Shashank Vikram assumed charge as Consul General at Consulate General of India, Birmingham on 22nd of July 2020. Dr. Vikram is a diplomat from the 2004 batch of Indian Foreign Service and is a medical graduate. Before resuming the charge of Consul General in Birmingham, Dr. Vikram has served in various capacities in Government of India, in Indian embassies abroad, and in the state government of Uttar Pradesh in India. Dr. Vikram has worked in Embassy of India, Lisbon, Embassy of India, Brasilia, and also as Consul General of India, Durban, South Africa. Without any further delay, I would like to invite Consul General for his message. Sir.
Honorable Vice Lord Lieutenant Dr. Beverly Lindsay, our distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon to all of you. Salam, Namaskar and Sat Sri Akal. It's my great honor to welcome all of you on this occasion of virtual celebration of Eid by Consulate General of India in Birmingham. As the presenter has already spoken, the festival is known by the spirit of sacrifice, piety, and prayers. And I hope this year the festival bestows on all of us the happiness and peace which is needed. 2020 is a difficult year. It's a different year because mankind witnessed a pandemic, which in living memory we haven't seen. And that is why this year we have to celebrate this festival virtually. The festival, you know, in my own memory as a child, this is one such festival. Like the other festival which I remember like this is Diwali. The festival where we used to go from home to home, visiting our friends, our family. And for me personally as a child, it was even better because, you know, whichever home you go, you also find very nice food. So we always did that. And in that way, the festival promoted so much of human bonding, so much of love and intermingling. It's really sad that today we have to do it virtually. But as it is, as there is the challenge, so there is also the opportunity. We are not going to be undermined by the fact that we cannot celebrate it at a larger and personal scale. So we are going to celebrate it virtually. We are going to extract our share of happiness in this situation also. Also, I would say that today is also a day where once again, while we are celebrating Eid, we all must acknowledge the role which is being played by our frontline workers, our essential workers, the doctors, the nurses, the people in the council, the policemen, who are working so hard to keep the life normal in these days. And I will request all our Muslim friends to do include them in your prayers this year. As far as the Indian diaspora is concerned, it's also my first interaction with all of you. Wherever in the world I have gone, it has always brought a sense of immense pride to me, and also to, I can very easily say, to the entire government of India, the way in which the Indian diaspora has worked for the economic upliftment, for the betterment of the country which they are now living. Anywhere you go, there is a praise, because there is a grit, there is ingenuity, there is hard work involved, where the people have contributed so much to the societies they are living in. And UK is no different. Your contribution in this society is something which is a pillar of strength to the entire UK-India relationship. And while I'm just a week old in this city, I have been following the news, and the way in which different community organizations of Indian origin have worked to support the government's effort in this pandemic, whether it is in the form of distributing food packets, whether helping the people through the health camps, through our various community organizations, whether those were mosques, whether those were gurdwaras, temples, community centers. It's a commendable job. And it is, once again, restores the Indian ethos where we say, Vasudev Kutumbakam, the entire world is my family. And that is one thing which has been amply demonstrated by the diaspora here. So my best wishes for that. And from the side of the consulate, I can only say that we are here. If there is anything I can help with, or the consulate can be of help with, please do approach us. Also, if there are any ideas, if there are any suggestions which you would like to share with us, by the way of which we can contribute better, because the strength of the relationship is not by the offices, it is by the people. So if there is something which you feel we can do, which will help in strengthening the bond between India and UK, which will help strengthening between the consulate and the diaspora, please feel free to suggest us, please contact us. With these words, I would again like to wish a very happy Eid ul-Adha to all the people who are listening, and my best wishes. And I hope this year's Eid once again showers happiness and peace upon all of us, which we so much desire. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We have the virtual presence of Vice Lord Lieutenant Dr. Beverly Lindsay, OBE, OD amongst us today. Dr. Beverly Lindsay, over the years, has provided a selfless service to the development of her local community and her beloved country, Jamaica, through many initiatives, organizations, and events. Dr. Beverly is a celebrated mentor, champion, and supporter of the African Caribbean community, not only in Birmingham, but throughout the UK and internationally. Her success, aligned with her long-standing support for the local community, has resulted in her receiving many awards for her outstanding work. I welcome Dr. Beverly Lindsay to please say a few words.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. Consul General, Dr. Vikram, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here this afternoon as Her Majesty's Vice Lord Lieutenant of the West Midlands to join with you today in this virtual Eid celebration. I think that even during this unprecedented time, it is really important that we can come together to celebrate such a significant festival. Over the past few years, I've attended many Eid events, to celebrate the end of Ramadan, but this is my first official virtual Eid. My experiences of Eids prior to lockdown have been in mosque, full of noise, laughter, happiness, and celebrations. Families, friends, and congregation coming together in mutual harmony. Looking at the origin of Eid al-Adha, I'm reminded of Ibrahim's unswerving loyalty to God and recognize the importance of our faith to our lives. The story of Ibrahim, prepared to sacrifice his son, should make us all reflect on the things that are important to us and what of those things would we be prepared to give up if God asked us to do so. I draw similarities with the last 4 months when we have all been tested and have had to adapt to how we live and give up the things that we are used to and the things that we've taken for granted to ensure that we stay safe and keep others safe. For me, I've missed family, friends, the freedom to attend events such as this, or just to pop out to the shops. But most importantly, to visit and hug loved ones. COVID-19 has tested everyone this year, and we've all had to adapt to a new norm. Before March, I've never heard of Zoom, Microsoft, Team, and the rest. But now I seem to be almost living in a virtual world, attending business meetings, officiating at events such as this, and engage with families and friends, whilst ensuring that my actions safeguard others' safety. However, in many ways, COVID-19 and lockdown, there have been some positives. I've had more time to reflect on the things that are really important. I've connected with families and friends from all over the world whom I've not seen or spoken to for many years. I've developed some new skills and made new friends. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. So for me, events like today's Eid are a significant way for a community to come together and be united in celebration. But it is also an important way to help us educate other communities and serves to promote understanding, respect, and community cohesion. As we celebrate, let us not forget Fitrana, to enable those in need around the world and in our community to celebrate this day in the same way as us more fortunate brothers and sisters. In closing, let us remember those who have lost the fight for life from the effect of COVID-19 or during this period of pandemic, as we also spare a thought for the grieving families and friends. I know that it has been extremely difficult for many for not being able to give our loved ones the type of homegoing service we know that is so special within your community as it is in ours. It is a privilege for me to join with you today at your virtual event. And I wish you a blessed and peaceful Eid al-Adha. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your illuminating and strengthening message. Thank you. The next speaker joining us is Mr. Abdul Kareem Kiwala, Chairman, Federation of Muslims Association, Leicester. Mr. Kiwala is a distinguished member of the British Indian community and has played a constructive role in community cohesion. Over to Mr. Kiwala now for his message.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to every one of you. Your Excellency, you're welcome to UK, and we welcome your appointment with two hands open and hope that we will continue to work together with you in furthering the message and ethos that we all bring from our motherland, India. I think there's quite a lot that, Your Excellency, you have elaborated on Eid, and also Dr. Lindsay. So there is not much for me to say about Eid. But as far as a Muslim I'm concerned, the Eid al-Adha actually gives out three distinct messages. One is the reliance on your Creator, your connections with your Creator, and the second one is the sacrifice. How much am I prepared to sacrifice for the sake of the well-being of the human being on the command of my Creator? And the third is the message which I think Sister Kavita Ben has touched upon, and that is the message of unity and brotherhood. These three messages are the important messages from Eid al-Adha. We know about the story of the Prophet Abraham, may the peace of Allah be upon him, and we know the kind of connections that he developed with his Creator and his willingness to sacrifice everything that he holds dear for himself for the sake of, for the pleasure of his Creator. Most importantly, the sacrifice of animal is only a symbolic experience. What is demanded and what is expected is the sacrifices of your lower self, lower desires, your ego, and to do what is dearer to you, and to sacrifice that for the sake of the betterment of the other human beings. And as we all know, that Eid al-Adha coincides with the occasion of Hajj, which is obviously an international gathering with a key message of the brotherhood, unity, and the developing bond between the different human beings from different corners of the world. I think, Your Excellency, you have quite rightly pointed out the Indian ethos, if we look at it, goes very parallel to these kind of messages and these kind of teachings. We all know, and since we have been living in the West, I think I have always maintained that India, which I call as a land of spirituality, has a huge role to actually play in today's world. The pandemic that we are seeing, the troubled time that we are all going through, the challenges that the humanity is facing, I think it's time that we as Indian, no matter who we are and what religion we belong to, we stand up with the message of spirituality, which I think in today's time, the humanity is badly in need. And if we can contribute, then we can organize the balancing act of the materialism with the spirituality. I think the Indian ethos will be transmitted all over the world. With those words, I congratulate the Consulate General for the appointment and also congratulate for organizing this virtual celebration. You and your colleagues have really demonstrated very clearly that all of us, whether we are Muslim, whether we are Hindu, whether we are Christians, whether we are Sikh, whether we are from any other religious group, we belong to India, and India belongs to all of us. I know that Dr. Lindsay will have difficulties in understanding the couplets that I'm going to say at the end, but I cannot resist the language that I would love to speak to, but I'll just end my speech and my Eid Mubarak message with just these two couplets. Kash tumne apna mijaz Eid jaisa hi bana liya hota. Kash tumne apna mijaz Eid jaisa hi bana liya hota. Har roz na sahi, ek roz hi gale laga liya hota. Thank you very much for organizing this virtual celebration. Thank you for inviting all of us, and happy Eid Mubarak to all our friends and participants. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kiwala. Thank you very much. As we move forward, our next speaker this afternoon is Mr. H.S. Bhatia, fondly known as Upashak Ji. Upashak Ji is the head of Nirankari Mission, chairman of Sandwell Confederation of Indians, and also the founder and chairman of Sandwell Multi-Faith Network. Upashak Ji has been honored by former Prime Minister Mr. Tony Blair for associating actively with the communities. I humbly welcome Upashak Ji to please say a few words. Upashak Ji.
Most respected brothers and sisters, I would like to congratulate you all at this very festive celebration of Eid. Your Excellency and Vice Lord Lieutenant and brothers and sisters, today it shows our work together of years, which is actually the message of Eid. Coming together. Every festival, maybe Diwali or Eid or Baisakhi, all the festivals, Christmas, all the festivals remind us something which we need to practice in our daily life. And Eid, as Kavita ji, you said, it's a festival of unity, to bring unity, love, sacrifice. We all have to sacrifice. And I have witnessed in the last 55 years in West Midlands, all these leaders who have been invited by you, they are sacrificing their time, their money, and sometime maybe, many other things. So that is the message of Eid. And I pray for each and every one of us that what we have done here in West Midlands, unity of all the faiths together, working for the unity of India together, not only for unity of India, but the unity of the mankind. And I just pray that may God bless at this Eid festival, all of us with more strength to come back. The people who are eager to divide, who are working for divisions and, on the name of particular religion. Religion only unite us, it never divide. So may I end up with again a culprit. हमारी रगों में बसता है हिंदुस्तान, इसे अब और ना बांटो. हमारी रगों में बसता है हिंदुस्तान, इसे अब और ना बांटो. कितना और करोगे हिंदू और मुसलमान, अरे कोई तो इस नफरत के धागे को काटो. कितना और करोगे हिंदू और मुसलमान, अरे कोई तो इस नफरत के धागे को काटो. मुसाफिर हैरान है अपने मुल्क के रहनुमाओं से, जो फर्क करते हैं दो भाइयों में. अरे अगर बांटना ही है तो हिंदी का प्यार और उर्दू की मिठास बांटो. Thank you very much. I wish you all happy Eid. Thank you.
जी, बहुत अच्छे.
Thank you, Upashak Ji. बहुत धन्यवाद. As we move forward, I am going to recite a poem. Everyone is different. No one is the same. We all have different backgrounds. We all have different names. But everyone is equal. We are all the same. No matter the color of your skin, no matter the language you speak, the earth is but one country, even when society is weak. Unity in diversity, it isn't hard to see. There is one thing we must believe in, and that thing is equality. Mr. Jafar Kapasi is our next speaker. Mr. Kapasi is the president of Dawoodi Bohra community. I invite Mr. Kapasi now to please address us. Mr. Kapasi.
Thank you very much, Kavita ji. Consul General, Your Excellency, Dr. Vikram Sahib, Vice Lord Lieutenant Dr. Lindsay, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Namaskar, Sat Shri Akal, and good afternoon. It is a great privilege to be participating in Eid al-Adha celebration in an unprecedented format, being through the Zoom. I remember vividly enjoying the same celebration at the residence of Janab Dr. Amanpuri Sahib, past Consul General of India. May I take this opportunity to offer our heartiest congratulations to Consul General Dr. Vikram Sahib on his appointment as the new Consul General of India. We wish him well and a very successful tenure of the office. Eid al-Adha is celebrated, is also known as Eid al-Hajj, which marks the end of pilgrimage to Mecca Mukarramah. And I always remember the last tawaf, which Tawaf al-Nisa, which is the ritual of going around the holy Kaaba 7 times with your beloved wife or husband. His Holiness, Dr. Sayyidina Mufaddal Saifuddin, whom I am the follower of, who is the religious leader of the worldwide Dawoodi Bohra community, referenced the religious scripture in reinforcing the common duty of protecting each other by following healthcare guidelines. He stated, in times of hardship, Muslims must seek recourse in the guidance of Islam and the traditions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who states, "Prefer for your brother what you prefer for yourself, and prefer for others what you prefer for yourself." What this tradition teaches is that all mankind is one brotherhood or sisterhood, and the notion of otherness fades away when we begin to consider that we all share the common humanity which binds us together, irrespective of our belief in religion. And I know this message has already been conveyed by a number of other speakers. When one of us suffers, we all suffer. And thus, we must all come together in a united effort to alleviate the hardship and the suffering of mankind. In that way, COVID-19 has brought us all together. The Dawoodi Bohras world over have supported hundreds of thousands of people with cooked meals, dry rations, and groceries. A number of our doctors and frontline healthcare workers, our ambulance services are providing medical supplies to most vulnerable amongst us in India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, USA, East Africa, and Europe. And some of the doctors and healthcare workers have paid the ultimate price in the line of duty. May I offer our grateful thanks to Dr. Vikram Sahib and Head of Chancery, Honorable Happy, and Jeja Sahib, Lekha Sahib, Kavita ji, and for all the staff for making this event possible. You soon will be celebrating the Independence Day, and followed by Diwali, and I hope that we have we've not been through the Zoom. I'm sure will all be enjoying and sharing excellent samosas and biryani virtually. Eid Mubarak to all of you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Mr. Kapasi. We have Dr. Upinderjeet Kaur virtually joining us. Dr. Upinderjeet is an internationally recognized researcher within Sikh Studies and Director of the Center for Sikh and Punjabi Studies at the University of Wolverhampton. I request Dr. Upinderjeet Kaur to please address us. Dr. Upinderjeet Kaur. Can I request Dr. Upinderjeet Kaur?
Sat Sri Akal. Eid Mubarak to everyone celebrating this joyous occasion. On behalf of the Centre for Sikh and Punjabi Studies at the University of Wolverhampton, I'd like to thank the Consulate General of India in Birmingham for inviting me to today's event, and a warm welcome to Your Excellency, Dr. Shashank Vikram, in your new role. As many of you will know, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, the first Guru of the Sikhs, was born in 1469. He grew up well versed in both Hindu and Islamic teachings. Guru Nanak's closest companion during his travels, his udasis, was Bhai Mardana, a Muslim. One could say that Guru Nanak's deeper understanding of Islamic theology and teachings were through his many, many conversations with Bhai Mardana. The ancestors of Bhai Mardana continue to share a special bond with the Sikhs. It is in this spirit that Guru Nanak and the Sikh succeeding Gurus collected the teachings of many spiritual enlightened individuals, both Hindu and Muslim, throughout their travels. These are enshrined in the Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the internal Guru of the Sikhs. Thus, in many ways, Guru Nanak Dev Ji is regarded as a pioneer in religious harmony through his actions of finding what brings us together as human beings. Bhagat Kabir Ji's well-known verse in the Guru Granth Sahib Ji reminds us that being a good human being is of paramount importance. Bhai Kabir Ji teaches, Awwal Allah Noor Upaya Qudrat Ke Sab Bande. So events such as today are very important in terms of actually living by the principles of interfaith dialogue and therefore religious harmony. Thank you again to the Consulate General of India for the tremendous support you have shown for the Centre for Sikh and Punjabi Studies, the first and only academic centre of its kind, not only in the UK, but across Europe. The centre has worked very closely with the Consulate General of India over the past couple of years, and we have organised a number of events, through the highlight of which was the 550th celebrations of the birth of Guru Nanak Dev Ji at the University of Wolverhampton. So I look forward to developing our close relationship further with the Consulate General of India. And once again, Eid Mubarak to everybody celebrating today. Sat Sri Akal.
Thank you very much, Dr. Upinderjeet Kaur. Now I would like to invite Mr. Hamid Malik, Chairman, Federation of Indian Muslim Organizations, Midlands, UK. He is also the chairman and founder of People's Needs UK, a registered charity focusing on bringing hope and aid to the world's most destitute. Mr. Malik has great passion for humanitarian work and has always been involved in community works. Over to Mr. Hamid Malik now.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana. I greet you with the Islamic greeting, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you all. First of all, I like to congratulate to our Consul General organizing this event. This sort of event, Aman Puri ji started from his home and then in consulate office. Many years it took me to Consulate General to celebrate the Eid festival along with others. And Aman Puri ji kindly done this. So when he left for his another mission, I was very much worried that when the next Consul General will come, I have to go him and persuade him again for all this scenario. And when I heard about this virtual celebration, so I couldn't stop to ring Shashank Vikram ji and congratulate him and his staff that they organized already before I went to my first meeting with him. So thank you very much to Consul General Dr. Shashank Vikram ji, and we welcome you in Birmingham, not only Birmingham, but north of England as well, because you got a big boundary. Sometime I say London got a big staff and they got a small boundary. Birmingham have a less staff and big boundary. So you will be very busy man. So the God gave you the rest for 14 days. You should thank the God that after that you will be very busy and you will come home about 11, 12 at night. Now Eid ul-Adha, all my listener and the dignitary, and the people who will see this in the social media, to say Eid Mubarak to everybody. regarding what religion you're celebrating. We will all brother and sister in the world. Gita says, Quran says, Guru Granth Sahib says, every religion they says we are brother and sister under one God. So we, whoever listening to thee or watching this video will say Eid Mubarak to you. And also along with this, that when somebody change their mission and go abroad or go to India, and when somebody come back, so among that our HOC, Mr. Hitesh Saxena also joined us on, Mr. Chakrabarti is gone. And we welcome Mr. Hitesh Saxena as well, that we wish you all the best for your tenure in Birmingham. And whatever we need from community, we all here, and whoever choose this speaker and the community leader, I think they've done the good job. We are working with the Consulate General of India and Indian High Commissioner London for long time for a betterment of the community here in UK and also our motherland India. And Eid ul-Adha is just the people come in their mind for Eid ul-Adha, they say we sacrifice the animal. And I think we do sacrifice the animal, but there is a purpose behind it. Briefly, Brother Kareem Kiwala already mentioned that this is the commandment of Allah, and the love we express to the Allah. And this meat or the blood doesn't go to Allah, but behind the spiritual message is that we have to obey the Allah, whatever His command, and show our love. And there are always Islamic religion festival, there is always something for everybody. So the first part of the animal, we use it ourselves. And the second part, we give it to the friend and family and neighbors. And the third one, we give it to the poor and needy. So every festival, even you take the Ramzan, Eid ul-Fitr, we give the money, zakat and Eid ul-Fitr to the poor people. So the Islamic festival, there is a symbol behind it. And that's done it for long years and future to come. Like COVID-19, we have this sacrifice Eid ul-Adha. We done it before Eid. Like our charity, People's Need UK, we distributed the food in Jammu and Kashmir, also in Sundarban, West Bengal and Rajasthan. And we done it sometime on form of the food, and sometime we given the cash money so they can buy the medicine, milk, and all these things. So wherever the Indian people live, I think they're very generous, and especially whether it's Sikhs or Hindu or Muslim, every religion, they are saying if you have something, you can share with other people. And by doing that, you are not helping yourself, but you helping the poor and needy as well. And instead of taking long time, one thing this message I want to send today to all our listener and all our who are watching on social media, that this is the age that we have to look together, and especially India, that we are Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Sai. We used to live for many years together, and we brought not only the independence, but the development of India we are doing at the moment. And I can see for next 20 years is our Indian community or India's years. So on this 20 years, we have to take opportunity, live together, work together, and inshallah, we can be one day the superpower. Religion is there. So we keep a religion for a side. Let whoever want to enjoy, whoever want to celebrate, let them celebrate. But I think when it comes to the development, when it comes to the country, we work together, and by doing that, we'll be one day the superpower. I always say, and Upasakji will be agree, that when there is a Diwali, I think the festival celebrated, Muslim can be volunteer. When there is a Eid, Hindu can be volunteer. Whether it's a Christian, Sikhs, whoever celebrating, we should be the volunteer. And I think future, I think just come in my mind when we were discussing about Guru Nanak Dev Ji, that next time, whenever this sort of conference come, I think Muslims should speak for a Sikh, and a Sikh should speak for a Muslim, and vice versa, Hindu, other religion. I think that will be better message, that we all this religion is good, and the positive thing, whatever is happened, we have to take it. Now, Eid ul-Adha, all this celebration, we are bringing close to the Allah, and also we helping to the poor people. So thank you very much once again to the Consul General of India, Dr. Shashank Vikramji and his team, and Kavitaji as usual. She is very good State Secretary. And I thank you to all the team of Consul General of India, including our HOC, Mr. Hitesh Saxena, for joining us. And I wish you once again to everybody happy Eid Mubarak and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Hamid Malik ji. बहुत धन्यवाद. Professor Asif Ahmed is joining us today. Professor Ahmed is the founder of Aston Medical School, Chairman and CEO of Midlands Therapeutics. Without any further delay, I would like to invite Professor Ahmed for his speech.
Thank you very much, Kavitaji. Can you hear me all? So
yes.
Can I take, like previous speakers, first and foremost, like to welcome His Excellency Dr. Vikram to Birmingham, and to say that I know a little bit about him, and what I know is that he will do very much what Aman was doing, and hopefully accelerate that, not just for Birmingham and the Midlands, but across the UK. And that's my wish, and I want to make that my commitment to help that be achieved. Today we're here to celebrate Eid, but as the quote says, the spirit of Eid, I think it's the spirit of multiculturalism that we're celebrating. And it is really alive and well in both in secular India and in Britain. And we can see that very clearly. And it's because of the values that we as people put on pluralistic traditions that we celebrate Eid, Diwali, Christmas, and Vaisakhi, all. And I think it's as His Excellency said, that when he was a child, he went to different places. I remember wearing a rakhi and doing Holi. So it's that culture that come from, and it needs to carry on in that tradition. And we are celebrating this today virtually, and I just want to bring out the importance of this and importance of science and knowledge, so that the young people who are listening in focus on these things. And 1400 years ago, our prophet, peace be upon him, said that if you know of a place where there is a plague, do not enter it. And if you are in a place where there is a plague, do not leave it. It was about protecting others, and it was nearly 300 years after that, that Ibn Sina, who was an Islamic scholar, who was not an Arab, and that shows again that scientific diversity, who then discovered the method of quarantine, the 40-day. So and now 1,000 years later, we're all doing quarantine separation. So this technology and science has developed, but the method is more or less the same. So first I wanted to say that, so let us focus on religion as a means of getting people together. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. The unity of diversity is the soul of India and of modern Britain. And we as Indians who live and work in Britain and grew up in Britain, we are the connectivity between India and United Kingdom. And I'm a strong believer that this is about building greater knowledge, greater science, greater commerce, and free trade between our two countries. And all of these events that we do as celebrate, we should use that opportunity to do that. And in that respect, I would say that, you can see that diversity growing from Glasgow to Leicester, where they have a South Indian Vice Chancellor, to Southampton, or across the whole country. the diversity is growing, and it is because we are becoming increasingly knowing each other's cultures. So the multiculturalism is about knowing each other's culture. And finally, I would just say that as we go forward, we should remember that it is only through working together that we will get to a point where, whether it's Islam, whether it's Hinduism, whether it's Christianity, whether it's Judaism, that we come together and cultivate that knowledge and exposure of science. Knowledge enhances the worth of every human being. And I think that's what we should be pursuing in this time of sacrifice, because Eid is about sacrifice. And so is, as someone pointed out, many of our people from our background have sacrificed during this COVID crisis. And I hope and pray that as we go forward, that we don't forget them and we celebrate, but with reflection and contemplation. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Hamid, for your thought-provoking words. Thank you indeed. As we are celebrating the spirit of Eid, I would like to recite few lines in Hindi. मंदिर में दाना चुगकर चिड़ियाँ मस्जिद में पानी पीती हैं. मंदिर में दाना चुगकर चिड़ियाँ मस्जिद में पानी पीती हैं. मैंने सुना है राधा की चुनरी कोई सलमा बेगम सीती है. एक रफ़ी था महफिल में, एक रफ़ी था महफिल में, रघुपति राघव गाता था. एक प्रेमचंद जो बच्चों को ईदगाह सुनाता था. Mr. Shakil Pathan, General Secretary of Gujarat Muslim Association, is our next speaker. Gujarat Muslim Association is a charitable organization which contributes to provide for academic education for the less privileged children in India. Over to Mr. Shakil Pathan.
Good afternoon and namaskar. Assalamu alaikum. Your Excellency Dr. Shashank Vikram, the Consul General of India, Birmingham. Honorable guest, Vice Lord Lieutenant Dr. Beverly Lindsay, Upasak ji, Kiwala ji, Hamid ji, Kapasi ji, Professor Adil Ahmad, Mr. Adil Parker, and all of the respected community leaders who are attending this celebration. I wish you all a very happy Eid, as we call it as Eid Mubarak. I like to thank Your Excellency Dr. Vikramji, Dr. Shashank Vikramji, for to organize this celebration even in this difficult time with COVID-19. This is clearly showing your commitment and determination towards our community. I like to welcome Your Excellency Dr. Shashank Vikramji as a new Consul General of India, Birmingham, and hope that he will not only sustain good standard of services, but also to take it to the new heights. We will support you as and when you need us. And how can I forget to welcome our new HOC, Mr. Hitesh Saxena ji, who is also newly appointed as HOC at Birmingham. Coming back to our spirit of Eid, I thank you heartily for all of the speakers who have spoken before me. They have really given us very positive and valuable messages. And I agree with all of them. Without repeating whatever they've spoken, I will add just few points from my end. Any religion has no boundaries or borders in this world. So this spirit and lesson is also applicable to all of us. India is a very well known for its secular values. Since before 1947 till now, India has achieved new heights in every aspect, And I have no hesitation to tell you that unity has played a vital role for these achievements. Nowadays, in modern digital time, some external elements want to destroy the unity of India. So I want to appeal to all of Indian communities for not to mislead by false news and propaganda, and always protect the unity of India. Unity is the foundation of the peace, and the peace is the foundation of the progress and prosperity. I also appeal to local political leaders from Kashmir to Kanyakumari for not to use divide and rule speeches for to gain little political advantage. Nation is always and should be above any political parties. Once Mahatma Gandhi said famously that I would like to be an ambassador for peace. Learning from that, I proudly say that I would like to be an ambassador for unity. With that message of unity, I'm finishing my speech here. I would like to once again thank you, all of you, and I wish you the happiness of the Eid. And thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shakil Pathan. Mr. Adil Parker will be joining us now. Mr. Parker is the director of Birmingham Al-Falah Mosque, and he is a renowned community worker and senior manager for Novartis Pharmaceutical. Over to Mr. Parker now.
Thank you, Kavitaji. I hope you all can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Your Excellency, Consul General Dr. Vikram, Vice Lord Lieutenant Dr. Lindsay, and to all distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and namaste to all of you. So it becomes difficult actually when you're kept the best for the last actually. I almost actually torn out my speech because everyone who has been so distinguished before me, they're all my elders, barring probably Shakil Bhai, and so distinguished that I had to think about what I'm going to speak now. One thing for sure, that Birmingham Consul General has one thing really good. They've got the best looking Consul Generals coming through. So before this, Dr. Amanpuri and Dr. Vikram, I think they're filtering them really well, honestly. So welcome to one of the most beautiful cities in the world. I'm from Mumbai, by the way, so I say Mumbai is #1 and then I say Birmingham #2. But of course, we're getting such good-looking Consul Generals, so it's really good to have you, by the way. Welcome, and we hope that our partnership within the community grows. I really wish that this was not a virtual one, but at least we are actually speaking to each other, which is really good. Just a bit of a background, and you've asked us all to talk about what can we suggest to you as well. So I think I'll start there, and I'll come back to the spirit of Eid. We as Indian Muslims take really good pride as being ambassadors for India. And I take this with some responsibility with the likes of Hamid uncle, Kiwala uncle, Jafar Kapasi Saab, and everybody else, Professor Ahmed. They've done a fantastic job. And I think what we need moving forward from you, Dr. Vikram, is to have that thread amongst us. So if you go out there and look at the research amongst Indian Muslims, we know they're there, we know the work that's gone there, but I think it's worth via the Indian Council and Consul General to have that link and to continue this communication for us to talk that these are our ambassadors, whichever field we are in. So that makes it easier for us to engage with the community, say, look, we are as much as there. Because being in the UK, you'll realize quickly that if you're a Muslim, you're not probably an Indian. So that's a general theme. It's really important for us all to feel that actually. And I know, I think last year I spoke about this, but I can't help but saying this today again, is that everyone spoke about the spirit of Eid, with Eid being a vital part of our this day about sacrifice and everything else. And I mentioned this before, and I have no qualms in saying it again. Part of this Eid is going for Hajj, which is an annual pilgrimage, but also there are other smaller pilgrimages we do every year, which is called Umrah. One big part of that process is what we call is going between two mountains. And this is called Safa and Marwa. The two mountains are there. And the story goes back to Abrahamic times, where the wife of the beloved Prophet Ibrahim would go looking for water. But she's looking for water as a mother, as a mother, and trying to get water. And I said this last year. I said, my mother, when coming to the UK, said to me, look, that is the mother of all of our mothers. And you don't forget that you've got a mother in India, but also you have mother in India. So not to forget that bit, not to forget your mother India. And that's why we continue working as a community for all the diaspora here in the UK, but also in India. Now, within this COVID times, and it was a privilege for our mosque to actually get involved with a local langar here, with a temple here. And we did a food bank project for over 3,500 families in the last sort of 4 months. And it was well supported by the local temples here and also the local gurdwaras here. And again, showed the great spirit of our Indians who are at the forefront of this. We also helped out local NHS staff. We helped out the local vulnerable people. But of course, we wouldn't have been able to do it ourselves as a mosque. So we got in touch with all the people that we can get. And Birmingham City Council mentioned this as a part of a great unified project that we did along with the temples and the Gurdwara. So, it again fills us with so much joy that it is our Indian diaspora again at the forefront of what we're trying to achieve here. Also, the COVID hit very badly in India. And I come from, as I said, from Mumbai, but my origination is from Konkan, which is south of Mumbai going towards the coast of Goa. And we are about 2,500 families in UK, and I represent them today. But again, we have got really strong links back home. And, every year we, all our aid that we get as Muslims, which is zakat and sadaqah we have to take out as compulsory, we make sure that this goes to those parts. It is compulsory for us in our entire 2.5. This is our part of our process. We have to do that. This goes towards them. So what we did is this year alone, we, along with the 5 cities that we are based in, we went out and said, look, the cyclone Nisarg hit us really badly. The COVID was really bad. So touchwood, we supported 3,500, 4,000 families in India for the COVID. And we nearly collected nearly 1.5 crore rupees for the Chief Minister's DSC funding that was going on. So we helped out through that process in the 2 districts of Raigad and Ratnagiri. My point being is that we have India at the heart of our upbringing here, and we do the same for our children. And it's really important that you, as a new CJ, actually continue this communication with us. That will be my high suggestion. And for the record, not only the fact you come to the best city with really good looks, but also you've got the best team. Happy ji, Kavita ji, you've got Hitesh ji now doing a fantastic job. So you've got really good, and of course, we're all here to support you. We're all here to work with you. So please call on us, tell us what we can do. We're more than happy to help out this process, inshallah. Yeah. While everyone spoke about good shairi, let me finish with one of my favorite poets called Lal Chand Falak. My dad's a poet. He always taught me ये अच्छे अच्छे शायर हैं. तो लाल चंद फलक ने कहा है कि दिल से निकलेगी न मर कर भी वतन की उल्फत, मेरी मिट्टी से भी खुशबू वफा आएगी. So I hope with that words, I hope to see you soon, and a very warm Eid Mubarak to all our guests. Thank you, Kavita ji. Thank you, all of you.
बहुत खूब, Mr. Parker. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Last but not the least, may I call upon Mr. Hitesh Saxena, Head of Chancery, CGI Birmingham, for a vote of thanks. Sir.
My greetings to everyone on this holy occasion of Eid al-Adha. And I would like to thank Consul General of India, Dr. Shashank Vikram, Honorable Vice Lord Lieutenant Dr. Beverly Lindsay, Mr. Abdul Kareem Kiwala, Pasak ji, Mr. Kareem ji, Jafar Kapasi ji, sorry, and Dr. Upinderjeet Kaur Takhar, Mr. Hamid Malik, Professor Asif Ahmed, Mr. Shakil Pathan, Mr. Adil Parker for their illuminating messages on this special occasion. I also would like to thank Ms. Happy, Ms. Kavita Mohan, Ms. Chandralekha Datta, and Mr. Tejas Sangvi for organizing such a beautiful program. So with that, I would like to once again wish a very happy Eid to everyone. And with that, Khuda Hafiz, Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, and goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. To conclude, on behalf of the Consulate General of India, Birmingham, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the speakers who have taken their valuable time amidst their hectic schedule and made the virtual celebration of the spirit of Eid a success. Indeed, this will remain green in the hearts of everyone. अंततः मैं मोहम्मद इकबाल द्वारा लिखी गई कुछ पंक्तियां प्रस्तुत करना चाहूंगी। मजहब नहीं सिखाता आपस में बैर रखना, मजहब नहीं सिखाता आपस में बैर रखना, हिंदी है हम वतन है हिंदुस्तान हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
Thank you.